Marky Martin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We start in Washington, D.C., with federal prosecutors revealing new video of the man they say tried to kill President Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. Take a look at your screen. The U.S. Attorney's Office says this shows Cole Allen firing his weapon at a Secret Service officer as he charged toward the ballroom, running past that security checkpoint just moments after officers disabled a metal detector. Washington correspondent Kristen Eskow has more from the White House. Kristen, good morning.
Well, good morning, Nick. So the video that was released by the U.S. Attorney's Office for Washington, D.C. shows, according to officials, the shooting of a Secret Service agent was not the result of friendly fire. You see the suspect, Cole Allen, running from the left side of your screen toward the security checkpoint. He points his gun at one of the Secret Service officers, which authorities say he fired, striking the officer point blank as he continued running toward the stairs that lead to the ballroom downstairs. Now, that officer is seen firing 4 shots at Allen in the video. Authorities say the officer that was shot was not seriously hurt because the bullet hit his bulletproof vest. Now, U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro also released video that she says shows Allen casing the area around the ballroom at the Washington Hilton the night before the dinner. He's seen walking around a hallway area and also looking around the hotel gym. Allen dropped his bid to be released from jail yesterday as he faces multiple charges, including attempting to assassinate the president. Nick?
Kristen, quick question for you. President Trump is talking about possible changes to his security in the wake of this attack. How so?
That's right, Nick. Our colleague Libby Dean asked him about that in the Oval Office, and he offered a lot of praise for the Secret Service. Here's some of what he told her.
I know a lot of those people in the Secret Service, and they were good and they were forceful. When you have 1,000 rooms sitting on top of a ballroom, and you have the elevators coming down right near the entrance, it's a pretty tough situation.
President Trump again made the push for the White House ballroom he's trying to build just behind me. Now, on Capitol Hill, we've seen some lawmakers, Republican lawmakers, introduce legislation to get the ballroom built. But at this point, none of the Democrats I've spoken with this week have changed their mind about their opposition to the ballroom. Nick?
Yeah, Kristen, I think that will continue to be a fight before that is approved by Democrats. Kristen Eskow, thank you so much. For more, we are joined by Donald Lane, former Secret Service agent under Presidents George W. Bush and Bill Clinton. This video, Donald, I know you've had a chance to take a look at it. I'd like to walk through it with you there. What does this new video tell you about what unfolded on Saturday?
Good morning, Nick. Good to be here. You know, it tells me the same thing I saw in the original video, that there was an exchange of gunfire between Allen and a Secret Service, it looks like a uniformed division officer, and that he bull rushed to the checkpoint there. You know, that's the bottom line. That's why you have agents stationed there even after everybody's in the event. And you know, he encountered law enforcement, as he should have, the Secret Service in this case, and he was stopped. So, you know, what you can see most clearly here that you couldn't see before is the actual exchange of gunfire very clearly in this particular video.
And Donald, what struck me immediately is how quickly agents respond. Like it happens in a flash and they respond in a flash. I do want to go back and focus in on a couple of things there. For viewers at home, I want them to take a look at the top left of the screen, because we see at one point, it looks like Allen walks into a room and a canine officer kind of follows him into that room. And he's clearly wearing a heavier coat or something. And then he comes out and he's not wearing that coat, almost as if the dog senses something isn't quite right. There on the left side of the screen. Is it possible that that canine officer sensed something that maybe he was carrying that did not smell well or did not smell right to actually follow him in that room?
You know, there's a possibility that that's the case, or there's just the possibility that perhaps it wasn't the dog that alerted, but perhaps it was just that this gentleman's in the vicinity. So we're going to take note of it, kind of see what's going on. Maybe, you know, obviously didn't expect necessarily that what happened would happen, but there are people, I said this in a previous report, there are folks around that you just don't see that are lurking in the background. It's not just as if the folks you see on the screen at the checkpoint are the only Secret Service agents in the vicinity. So, I think just because he was in the vicinity of the checkpoint, there was another security measure around.
He clearly waited for that officer to turn around. We're looking at the screen there again for those at home. I'm talking about when we see Mr. Lane walk into that room and then he comes out. It also looks as though the timing could not have been better for Allen when he ran out of that room, Donald, because they had disassembled one of those metal detectors right at that time. So the agents appeared to be a bit distracted.
Yeah, I would say that, the agents here in this case were, performing a task that the UD, Uniform Division, was taking down the magnetometer. Look, the Secret Service has to get it right 1,000% of the time, every time. For a would-be attacker, they just have to basically try to get lucky, especially now that we know the Secret Service is on task doing what they need to do. And you're right, this was an extremely fast response. For any critics that are out there, I'd ask you to keep in mind that this gentleman is shooting, and the gentleman who returned fire has gotten shot in the chest by a shotgun, is falling backwards and returning fire as a suspect is bolting through and tripping himself. So, it was an incredible response, in my opinion, by the Secret Service in a good way.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there have been critics winning this argument, because even the acting attorney general praised the efforts of law enforcement and agents on this day, and have shut down the conversation around friendly fire now. An agent was shot in the chest during Saturday's incident. In the video, we can see him brandishing his weapon. The suspect rushes through. How are agents trained for moments like this that happen on a dime, where if I'm an agent and you're an agent, I can't say, hey, Donald, turn around, look. You have to just respond knowing what's happening.
That's right. That's right. This is exactly what the Secret Service trains for, is that one moment in time where someone poses an extreme threat to one of our protectees. And so it becomes muscle memory. And that's why training is so important and so vital, because there's no thought process involved. It's simply muscle memory based off of training. And, he withdrew his weapon under 3 seconds. And as he's, doing what he's doing, of course, he's going to attempt to get a communication out to alert others as to what the threat is. Of course, that becomes very apparent within a split second.
Donald Lane, thanks again for joining us this morning.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Nick.
Today is